Most Americans' biggest fear is running out of money. Unfortunately, the vast majority of financial advice centers on your choice of investments. What is often overlooked is the devastating impact of paying too much in taxes. The difference between a good tax strategy and a bad tax strategy can literally be the difference between having a secure, comfortable retirement or actually running out of money. IRA and retirement plan owners are particularly vulnerable to paying much more in taxes than they need to. The good news is that there are some simple yet extremely effective strategies that you can learn. In the next few minutes, James Lange will demonstrate some of his favorite strategies to cut taxes and maximize your retirement savings. James Lange is a CPA and attorney with 30 years experience and is also a noted expert in the areas of retirement savings, strategically spending your retirement funds, and how to plan for your estate.
The secret to getting the most out of what you've got is simply don't pay taxes now, pay taxes later. This concept should be applied while you're working, after you're retired, and even when you're planning for your estate. When you're working, putting the maximum into your retirement plan at work, which is a form of don't pay taxes now, pay taxes later, can yield benefits as much as $2 million better off by saving money outside the retirement plan. Once you are retired, the question of which assets to spend first is critical. Don't pay taxes now, pay taxes later means don't spend your IRAs or your retirement plans first, rather spend the money that you've already paid tax on. By doing this, you can be up to $500,000 or more better off. Finally, when you're planning your estate, you and your children should be utilizing the concept don't pay taxes now, pay taxes later. If your children utilize the concept of the stretch IRA that you can set up for them, they can be better off by as much as $1 million during their lifetime. The exception to this rule is Roth IRAs, Roth 401ks, and Roth 403bs and Roth IRA conversions. Here, that's the opposite of don't pay taxes now, pay taxes later. There, you are paying taxes now, but the benefit of the Roth IRA and Roth IRA conversion is that the money that you've paid tax on will grow income tax-free for the rest of your life, the rest of your spouse's life, the rest of your children's lives, and the rest of your grandchildren's lives. Assuming you have the funds to pay the income tax on the Roth IRA conversion for money you have outside the IRA, and assuming you convert $100,000 of a traditional IRA to a Roth IRA, in 20 years you are over $50,000 better off in today's dollars. Consider also the benefit to your beneficiaries as well. Say you die after you make a Roth IRA conversion. How much better off will your children be? They will be better off by $1.6 million than if you didn't make a Roth IRA conversion. Where are we up to now? Don't pay taxes now, pay taxes later, except the Roth IRA and Roth IRA conversion.
Individuals with IRAs and retirement plans are advised to educate themselves on the importance of accumulation and distribution strategies to ensure that they are building and preserving their wealth in the most efficient way possible.
But what about estate planning? What is the best way to plan for your estate? The traditional estate plan has you put money into a trust known as the B Trust or the Unified Credit Shelter Trust. The problem with traditional estate planning is that we just don't know what's going to happen. We don't know who's going to die first. We don't know how much money there's going to be. We don't know what the federal estate tax laws are going to be like after the first death. And we don't know what the needs of the family are going to be after the first death. The traditional estate plan, where you utilize the B Trust or the Unified Shelter Trust, the problem with that is that determines in advance exactly who is going to get what, regardless of what the needs of the family are after the first death. A much better plan is a flexible plan where we let the surviving spouse decide who gets what, and the surviving spouse will have the following choices. They could A, take the money themselves, B, leave the money into the B Trust that could save estate tax at the second death, C, leave the money to the children equally, or D, leave the money to grandchildren. And finally, my favorite is a combination of all of them, depending on what the best circumstances are at the time of the first death. Let the surviving spouse decide, not today, but after the first death when more information is known. So where are we up to now? Don't pay taxes now, pay taxes later. The Roth IRA and the Roth IRA conversion can be very powerful for you, your children, and your grandchildren. And finally, consider a more flexible estate plan known as Lange's Cascading Beneficiary when you're planning for your estate. Hopefully, you'll do the combination of all these things to get the most out of what you've got.
As mentioned before, James Lange is the nationally known best-selling author of Retire Secure. Larry King called Retire Secure one of the best books about saving taxes I've ever read. It works. And international financial expert Charles Schwab called Retire Secure a roadmap for tax-efficient retirement savings and estate planning. Retire Secure is available now at booksellers and online at Amazon.com. When it comes to retirement planning, James Lange puts his money where his mouth is. Here, during one of his many speaking engagements, Mr. Lange illustrates how he turned a devastating professional tragedy into a personal windfall using the Roth IRA conversion.
True story, I'm going to simplify, has $1 million in a plain old traditional IRA. This is back when the exemption amount was $1 million. And he had $300,000 outside his IRA. So he had $1.3 million, and he was going to die this year. Not 2008, but before. So the status quo is he was going to die, he was going to have to pay estate tax on $300,000 because the $1 million exemption, and then his children and grandchildren, who were doing quite well, were going to have to pay income tax every year on the IRA. And he heard about me, and I usually don't make house calls, but in his case I made an exception. And I literally went to his deathbed, and he said, "What do you think I should do?" And we studied it, and again, I'm going to oversimplify. And I said, "I think you should make a Roth IRA conversion of $1 million, right? Which is going to take $300,000 that you have outside of the IRA, and you're going to have to use that to pay taxes. So what's going to happen is your children and grandchildren, instead of inheriting $1 million in an IRA, $300,000 outside the IRA, and then they're going to have to pay estate taxes and inheritance taxes on that. We're going to eliminate the federal estate tax, and we're going to eliminate the income taxes on that money for the rest of your children's and grandchildren's lives." And I proved to him mathematically that he would be not he, it's not going to make any difference for him, right? His children and grandchildren will be millions of dollars better off. So the point is, it's not too late to make a Roth IRA conversion, even if you're quite old, even if you have a reduced life expectancy.
For the past few minutes, noted retirement savings expert James Lange has been sharing some of his ideas on how you can maximize your savings for retirement. In whatever stage of life you are in, it's not too late to make a big difference in your life and the lives of your family. To learn more about how you can retire secure, visit paytaxeslater.com.